Alright, so I'm back. Today we are going to be doing the big Predaking War. But first, before we get to that point, I wanted to show off a couple things I did wrong with the TFC Predaking. First thing, they'll make this easier is take the wings off the backpack. They're just on 5mm ports here, and they just plug in right there. So just take these off. That's going to make this a lot easier to work with. So we'll set those off to the side because it's easier to put the wings on than trying to put the whole wing pack on. Now, and he doesn't have his leg on because we got to look at that too. Let's just take this leg off too. Alright, there we go. Now, one thing I did wrong here in the transformation, it had it in the dive bombs instructions, but I guess I saw it and I was like, oh, I already know how to do that, but apparently I didn't do it right. But what you want to do is you take this panel here, and it just slides in a little bit, like so. You don't want to get it too far because then it starts blocking the neck or the head from moving. But you do that on both sides, and what that does is, because these things are really, really tight, that locks that neck into place. So that problem I was having with the wing assembly, pulling the whole neck off, is because this part wasn't done properly. So now we can take the wing pack here, and these top two ports again plug into these two ports there, and these two bottom ones plug into these ports right there. So just kind of set those in there, get it all lined up. It's really, really tough to show off on camera just because of how limited space you have, but once you get them, you just push them in, and then for the bottom ones, just make sure you give those a really, really good push and plug those in all the way. And now that everything's in, that'll hold a lot more securely. So, I mean, you could see the problem I was having was the neck piece was coming off, but now the ports will come out before the neck piece slides back. So, that does immensely help with the stability on the wing pack. So, put that back in there. And we're going to set this guy in the back here for a minute. Because the next thing is headstrong here. I also did a few things incorrectly on him. Now, a lot of people were saying that I didn't have the legs transformed properly. Well, that was because when I wouldn't get him together right, I had to zip tie him together. And because the zip tie would go across here, I couldn't get the legs back into place properly. But again, there's this hook right here. And then right underneath the leg right there is where this hooks into. So you hook it around like that. And that gets it back pretty much as far back as it will go. There's nothing really else there. Now, this is one thing I did wrong entirely. This piece here actually has a way of folding in. It's actually on a double hinge here. There's a hinge right there where that round piece is. That's a hinge as well. I did not notice that until somebody pointed out that the back pieces fold up, and I'm like, there's no way this would fold up down there. There's no way. But then I was looking closer, and I'm like, oh, look at that. There is a way to fold it in. So what you want to do is pull this down, and as you see, it rotates, and then this will just come down and fold in flush with this bottom piece. Like so. And then this piece can come down now, and there's a tab at the end that'll plug into this little slot right there. So you just pull that down, tab it in, and then we want to take the little black piece here, and peg it into the side here. Do the same thing on the other side, and the whole assembly will plug together. And then there's two little tabs right there and there that'll plug into two little holes on the bottom of this yellow piece that's right there. It's kind of hard to show it off, but you plug that in, and you plug this in. Now the problem, I still have the same problem. He's not as stable as I would like. He still has a tendency of splitting those legs. So we're gonna try it. If it starts giving me trouble, I'm going to zip tie it again for the big review, just so that I have a stable figure. We'll plug this in. We'll plug this in. We gotta plug the toe back in for this one. But yeah, that does immensely help with the stability. I did give this one a dry run earlier, and it still did fall apart. So I don't think that completely solved the situation, but it did. The backpack being able to plug in did help it out a lot. So there we go. He's standing, and he's pretty stable now. Still a little wobbly, but he's a lot more stable than I gave him credit for. So like I said, I just wanted to do a quick update video on the TFC Predaking. I'm extremely happy with the backpack, being able to lock in a little bit better. Like I said, I have read a lot of people had the same complaint about this guy that I have. And it's just a matter of shaving down the right port inside the leg, and I'll get it together a little bit better. But because it is more stable, and it was my error, I am going to boost his score up to a 6 out of 10. I still think he's got a lot of issues, but I am much more happier with him now, especially with the head thing. The head thing was absolutely ridiculous, and I absolutely hated it. But now that I've got that figured out, so thanks guys for pointing that out. And the guy, actually, one of the guys that pointed it out, apologized to me, and I just would like to, say you don't ever have to apologize for me getting something wrong and you guys correcting me on it. So. But yeah, now that head is really stuck in there, and I guess I just never realized that that's what those little neck fins were for. So anyway, I'm gonna get this posted, and I'm gonna start working on getting the other Predakigs back together so that we can start this big event today.